If you're over 60, there's a good chance no one has ever shared this with you. Some cheeses may quietly be protecting your brain, bones, and digestive system, while others could be harming them without your awareness. The truth is, not all cheese is created equal, especially as we grow older. Recent research published in the Global Journal of Nutrition reveals that choosing the right kinds of cheese can reduce inflammation, enhance vascular health, and even support cognitive function. But the wrong varieties might be slowly contributing to high blood pressure, arterial stiffness, and weakened immunity, all under the radar. That's why in today's video, we'll explore 3 cheeses every senior should consider adding to their diet. Not just for flavor, but for strength, mental clarity, and vitality. These cheeses are naturally crafted, gentle on the gut, lower in sodium, and packed with nutrients that aging bodies need now more than ever. So, before your next bite, it's important to understand which cheeses are working quietly for you and which might be working against you. Let's begin. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss another health tip designed just for you. If you find this video helpful, type 1 in the comments below. If not, type 0 and let me know how I can improve the content. Now, let's look at 3 types of cheese people over 60 should completely avoid. First, industrial cheese spreads. These are by far the most dangerous. Soft, creamy, and easily spreadable on crackers, bread, or even stirring up nostalgic childhood memories, industrial cheese spreads, those found in tubs, jars, or neatly wrapped wedges, offer comfort to many. But for those of us in our golden years, what seems like an innocent indulgence is actually a nutritional minefield, silently eroding health with every mouthful. These spreads aren't genuine cheese in any meaningful way. They are mass-produced products made by mixing low-grade cheese leftovers with chemical emulsifiers, artificial colorings, preservatives, and alarmingly high amounts of sodium and saturated fats. What's worse, they're often marketed as convenient, kid-friendly, and easy to enjoy. Yet the reality is far more harmful. As we age, our bodies lose some resilience. Kidneys become less efficient at filtering toxins, arteries lose elasticity, and metabolism slows down. That's why the additives in these cheese spreads are especially toxic for older adults. Sodium phosphate, a common preservative, doesn't merely stabilize texture, it quietly stresses your kidneys each time you consume it. Over the years, this burden can accelerate kidney damage, a risk well documented by studies from the National Renal Institute. Then there's the fat content, not only saturated fats, but sometimes partially hydrogenated oils or trans fats, banned in many countries for good reasons. Trans fats raise your bad LDL cholesterol, lower your good HDL cholesterol, and create a perfect storm for heart disease, stroke, and chronic inflammation. The consequence? Faster decline in cognitive function, joint health, and circulation, all disguised beneath the comforting texture of a soft, spreadable cheese. The damage is invisible at first. It doesn't hit you with sharp pain or dramatic symptoms. Instead, it creeps in quietly, manifesting as rising blood pressure, expand fatigue, slower memory recall, and lab results hinting at trouble. Elevated creatinine, high triglycerides, or calcium imbalances. These are the hidden tolls exacted by something that felt harmless, but wasn't. Choosing industrial cheese spreads means surrendering not just nutrition, but long-term vitality. One quiet moment, one bite at a time. The convenience might be tempting, the flavor might evoke memories of youth, but your body is older now, wiser, and deserves better. It deserves food that supports your heart, nourishes your mind, and strengthens your bones, not something that slowly undermines them with every serving. Industrial cheese spreads combine all the worst aspects of modern food manufacturing into one product: salt, chemicals, fat, and zero accountability. It's not cheese. It's a Trojan horse designed for shelf life, not your life. And if you think that's unsettling, just wait until you hear about the next cheese on our list. It looks gourmet, smells rich, and carries hidden risks that can strike without warning. If you're still with me and finding this information valuable, please comment 1 below to let me know you're following along. Now let's move on to point number 2. Number 2. Roquefort Cheese Gourmet Flavor. Hidden Peril. Roquefort cheese. Just hearing the name might evoke images of elegant dinner parties, fine burgundy wine, or a decadent wedge crumbled over a fresh arugula salad. It's often regarded as a symbol of refinement, a luxury for those with discerning taste. But for those past 60, Roquefort harbors a silent danger, unrelated to flavor, but closely tied to how your body changes with age. The distinctive blue veins running through Roquefort come from Penicillium roqueforti, a living mold that produces compounds such as tyramine and histamine. While younger individuals may metabolize these substances with ease, aging bodies often struggle. As we grow older, the enzymes responsible for breaking down these compounds slow down dramatically. This means tyramine and histamine can linger in your system, triggering sudden spikes in blood pressure, heart palpitations, and in many cases, severe migraines or dizziness. Some seniors even find themselves rushed to the emergency room, unaware that a small serving of cheese was the silent culprit. But the risks don't end there. Because Roquefort is typically aged and often made from raw or unpasteurized milk, it's more vulnerable to Listeria contamination, a bacterial infection that can be devastating, even fatal, for older adults with weakened immune defenses. Listeria doesn't come with obvious warning signs. It begins subtly: a low-grade fever, fatigue, perhaps mild digestive upset. Yet in vulnerable seniors, it can quickly escalate to sepsis, meningitis, or worse. Then there's the sodium content. Roquefort is a salt bomb, frequently packing over 400 milligrams of sodium per ounce, far beyond what a heart-conscious diet should allow. Combined with the high saturated fat levels found in richer varieties, it's a recipe for arterial stiffening and increased stroke risk. Ironically, something celebrated as gourmet can come with a steep price: unstable blood pressure, excessive inflammation, hidden infections, and potential neurological damage. It might seem like a small indulgence, but for aging bodies, the consequences can be large and lasting. So, before you sprinkle that blue crumble over your next salad, pause and remember, not everything aged with care is good for the aged. Sometimes sophistication demands a steep cost. And if you thought mold was the enemy, wait until you discover the smooth, creamy cheese quietly sabotaging your metabolism every single morning. Number 3. Creamy Brie. The soft adversary you never saw coming. Brie doesn't look threatening. It sits quietly in your refrigerator, cool and unassuming, waiting to be spread on your morning toast or stirred into a warm recipe. It's smooth, comforting, and familiar, a part of your daily routine for years. Maybe that's what makes it so dangerous. Unlike other cheeses with pungent smells or bold appearances, Brie hides its harm beneath softness and simplicity. For those over 60, this type of food low in nutrition, high in saturated fat, and deceptively indulgent can quietly undermine health day by day. Brie contains minimal, meaningful protein, but is loaded with saturated fats. When metabolism slows with age, the body struggles to process this excess energy, leading directly to visceral fat accumulation, especially around the abdomen. This is a known precursor to insulin resistance, heart disease, and the inflammatory conditions that increase with aging. But fat isn't the only problem. Brie, especially flavored versions like honey or fig, often contains added sugars. These sugars might seem harmless in small amounts, but for seniors they spike insulin levels, disrupt blood sugar balance, and fuel systemic inflammation, resulting in increased fatigue, brain fog, and difficulty managing weight. At this stage of life, every bite matters more than ever. Choosing calorie-dense but nutrient-poor foods means missed opportunities for healing, nourishment, and vitality. And there's Listeria again, the quiet bacterial threat. Because of its soft texture and moisture content, brie, especially if left out briefly, can become a breeding ground for harmful bacteria. Seniors with weakened immune systems are particularly vulnerable to Listeria infections. This isn't just a stomach bug. Listeria can cause meningitis, blood infections, or even death in older adults. The danger rarely comes with a loud warning. It sneaks in with lingering headaches, mild confusion, or a vague feeling that something is off. Often, by the time these symptoms are connected, it's too late. The price paid for that creamy texture and nostalgic comfort can be steep. Elevated cholesterol, creeping blood sugar, stubborn belly fat, or worse, an invisible infection that can change life within hours. Brie isn't inherently evil, but it's certainly not a friend to the aging body. What feels like a harmless daily habit might actually be working against your energy, organs, and longevity. So the next time you reach for that silken spread, ask yourself, is the softness on your plate worth the silent damage beneath? Because while brie whispers, the next cheese shouts loud, bold in color, wrapped in foil, and yet might just be the most misleading food in your entire fridge. Stay with me. What you're about to learn might make you see your next snack in a whole new light. 3 types of cheese people over 60 should embrace. 1. Sheep's milk cheese. A gentle superfood for the aging body. There's something quietly noble about sheep's milk cheese. Unlike the loud processed cheeses shouting for your attention in supermarket aisles, sheep's milk cheese is humble, natural, and yet profoundly effective. For those over 60, it's more than just a flavorful addition to meals. It's a therapeutic ally for a body that's evolving, a metabolism that's slowing down, and a digestive system that no longer tolerates everything as it once did. Sheep's milk cheese is among the most easily digestible cheeses available. It contains less lactose and a different type of casein protein than cow's milk cheeses, making it far gentler on the stomach, a blessing for older adults who often struggle with bloating, discomfort, or new sensitivities that weren't present in earlier years. The benefits go well beyond digestion. The fats in sheep's milk cheese are predominantly short and medium-chain fatty acids, the kind the liver can efficiently convert into energy rather than storing as belly fat. This is especially important for seniors dealing with slower metabolism and the gradual weight gain that frequently accompanies aging. What you eat now either supports or burdens your system, and sheep's milk cheese is one of those rare foods that lightens the load. Beyond that, it quietly champions immune health and brain function. Rich in zinc, selenium, and beneficial probiotics, sheep's milk cheese helps replenish the gut microbiome, a critical defender against inflammation, infection, and even mood disorders in older adults. These nutrients work behind the scenes, supporting tissue repair, thyroid health, and mental clarity. It also contains a special form of vitamin A and omega-3 fatty acids that nourish memory and cognitive function, subtly shielding against age-related mental decline. The beauty of sheep's milk cheese lies not only in what it provides, but in what it excludes. No artificial colors, no stabilizers, no preservatives, just pure natural nourishment that feels as good in your body as it tastes on your tongue. Whether crumbled over roasted root vegetables, spread on whole grain bread, or folded into a delicate omelet, it adds substance without heaviness. As we age, we realize food is not merely about flavor, it's about how it makes us feel afterward. Sheep's milk cheese feels like wellness wrapped in simplicity. But if you think sheep's milk cheese is impressive, wait until you meet the holy cheese that silently guards your heart, bones, and immune system with every bite. 2. Alpine cheese. A subtle shield for the aging heart and mind. There's a quiet strength in Alpine cheese. Unlike bold cheeses that dominate your plate, Alpine cheese sits calmly in the background, mild in flavor, gentle on the body, and remarkably powerful in ways many overlook. For those in their 60s and beyond, it offers something far more valuable than taste: protection. Alpine cheese, with its characteristic pale yellow hue and nutty undertones, seems almost crafted for aging bodies. One of its most underrated qualities is its exceptionally low sodium content, around 50 milligrams per ounce. At a time in life when hypertension is a looming concern and medications add to bodily strain, this matters deeply. With Alpine cheese, you enjoy the comfort of cheese without the cost of soaring salt levels. Even more impressive is its impact on bone and cardiovascular health. Alpine cheese is rich in vitamin K2A nutrient many seniors lack, yet one essential for directing calcium where it belongs, into bones, not arteries. This helps prevent arterial calcification, a silent but serious contributor to heart disease and stroke. In a way, Alpine cheese does more than nourish you. It guides minerals that can either harm or heal, depending on their destination. It doesn't stop there. With high levels of calcium, protein, and vitamin B12, Alpine cheese supports muscle strength, nerve function, and cognitive clarity. All increasingly precious as we age. Its natural aging process reduces lactose to near zero, easing digestion for seniors with new sensitivities. The bacterial cultures used in traditional Alpine cheese, especially Propionibacterium freudenreichi and Lactobacillus rhamnosus, produce unique anti-inflammatory compounds during fermentation. These compounds bolster immune defenses and reduce chronic inflammation, subtly protecting against arthritis and neurodegenerative conditions. Alpine cheese is a food that speaks softly but works diligently, like a faithful guardian behind the scenes. And unlike processed cheeses, it contains no artificial additives or gimmicks, just pure, aged nourishment that supports the system's time tends to weaken. But if Alpine cheese is the wise protector, then what comes next is the spirited companion. Bright, crumbly, and unexpectedly powerful in supporting your bones, gut, and brain, all in one delicious bite. 3. Manchego cheese. Crumbled simplicity with lasting strength. Manchego cheese might not steal the spotlight at a bustling dinner table, but for those over 60, this humble, crumbly cheese holds remarkable value. Its tangy bite, tender texture, and centuries-old heritage speak to something deeper, a food that has nourished generations without excess or pretense. For seniors navigating the complexities of aging, Manchego offers a rare combination of flavor, function, and gentleness. Traditionally made from sheep's milk, Manchego naturally contains less lactose and a protein structure that's easier to digest than cow's milk cheeses. An important difference for the aging gut, which often becomes less tolerant over time. Instead of provoking bloating or digestive discomfort, Manchego tends to move through the system with ease, a grace we grow to appreciate more with age. But Manchego's true gift lies in what it delivers in small, potent amounts. Rich in calcium, protein, and vitamin B12, it supports bone density, nerve function, and muscle preservation. Three critical areas where the body tends to lose ground in later years. These nutrients are not just helpful, they're essential for seniors striving to stay mobile, balanced, and mentally sharp. Perhaps most remarkable is Manchego's contribution to gut health. As a brined and fermented cheese, it is naturally rich in probiotics beneficial bacteria that help restore and maintain the microbiome's diversity. With aging, especially when medications are involved, the gut's delicate balance can falter. This imbalance can ripple outward, affecting digestion, immunity, mood, and inflammation. A modest sprinkle of Manchego can help support this balance, acting like a small daily dose of restoration. Though Manchego has a salty tang, the portion size needed to enjoy its benefits is minimal. Just a few crumbles can elevate a dish and provide nutritional value without overwhelming the body with sodium. For those particularly sensitive to salt, a quick rinse can significantly reduce its sodium content. Manchego proves that nourishment doesn't need to be flashy. It simply needs to be intentional, rooted in tradition and kind to the body. Whether added to a warm salad, roasted vegetables, or a morning omelet, it brings both flavor and function to the table. While these three cheeses can help protect your health as you age, knowing which to avoid is equally vital. Because not all cheeses lead toward strength, some quietly steal it away. Choosing cheese as a path to longevity and grace is about more than taste. Aging isn't just about growing older. It's about refining our choices, slowing down with wisdom, and living more intentionally than ever before. And that includes what we put on our plates. Cheese has long been a symbol of comfort. A warm grilled sandwich, a spread on a cracker, a sprinkle over pasta. Small pleasures we've come to cherish. But comfort, especially in our later years, must go hand in hand with care. At this stage, your body asks for different things. Your heart asks for less salt. Your joints ask for less inflammation. Your brain asks for clarity. Your bones ask for strength. And most importantly, your time asks to be spent in health, not recovery. What seemed harmless in our 30s or 40s, a heavily processed cheese spread, a moldy gourmet indulgence, a creamy delight full of hidden fats, now carries consequences far heavier than fleeting taste. Once you reach your 60s, 70s, or beyond, each meal becomes more than fuel. It becomes medicine or poison. The difference is subtle, often hidden behind glossy packaging, nostalgic flavors, and a culture that still glorifies convenience over integrity. But you have the power to choose differently. You can honor your body not by restricting joy, but by refining it, by choosing food that is simple, clean, nourishing, and alive. Avoiding the wrong cheeses isn't about fear. It's about respect. It's about recognizing the quiet ways food can uplift or erode us, especially when our bodies grow more vulnerable. It's choosing to invest in well-being, staying sharp, mobile, and connected for as long as possible. And that's not just for you, it's for those who love you, count on you, and look to you for wisdom, laughter, and guidance. It's never too late to shift, to trade harmful habits for healing ones, to replace processed spreads with a clean wedge of sheep's milk cheese, to exchange salt-packed moldy bites for a fresh slice of mozzarella. These may be small acts, but they're powerful, because at this stage of life, every decision matters a little more. Let your meals reflect the care you now know you deserve. Let food become not just a source of taste, but of strength, memory, clarity, and grace. And as we've only touched the surface, remember, it's not just about what to avoid, but what to embrace. Because the journey of aging well isn't about less. It's about choosing better. Now, are you ready to discover the cheeses that can protect your heart, nourish your mind, and strengthen your body? Let's continue. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.